All right, today we are pulling back the curtain on the AI tools you probably use every single day. We're going to look at their secret playbook, the hidden instructions that shape everything they do and say.
So, have you ever stopped to think about why different AIs feel so different? You know, you talk to one and it's super helpful and friendly. Another one is kind of quirky and creative, and a third is all business, just a straight-up coder. Is that just a coincidence?
Well, it's definitely not random, not at all. In fact, that unique personality you're picking up on, it's been carefully, intentionally designed right from the start. And it's all because of something called a system prompt.
Okay, so what in the world is a system prompt? The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine an actor is about to go on stage. The director pulls them aside and gives them notes. Okay, your character is heroic, a bit sarcastic, and you'd never, ever lie. That's exactly what a system prompt does for an AI. It's that foundational script, that core programming that tells the model, hey, you are a helpful assistant, or your tone should be formal, before we, the users, even get a chance to type our first question.
Now, you can bet these director's notes are some of the most guarded secrets these big tech companies have. They're usually locked away in a digital vault. But what happens when that vault starts to spring a leak? Well, there's a really fascinating project on GitHub that's doing the unbelievable, collecting them all in one place.
And here it is. It's called, pretty bluntly, the Leaked System Prompts Repository. And yep, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a huge crowdsourced library of these secret instructions from the biggest AIs out there, all gathered and shared by curious users and researchers.
And just to give you a sense of how big a deal this is, the project has over 12,000 stars. Now on GitHub, that's not just a like, that's a massive stamp of approval. It's the community basically screaming, hey, this is important, pay attention to this. But honestly, this number is even crazier, over 1,700 forks. A fork is when a developer makes their own personal copy of the entire project to mess with. So this isn't just people looking, it's thousands of developers actively digging in, analyzing the data, and maybe even building on it themselves.
So, what kind of secrets are we talking about here? Whose playbooks are actually in this digital vault? Let's peek inside.
We are not talking about small-time apps or little startups. This is the big leaks. We're seeing prompts from OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, Microsoft, Meta. I mean, it's literally a who's who of the AI world. The secret sauce for pretty much every major model is right here for anyone to see.
But as you can imagine, trying to collect this kind of stuff, well, it's not exactly risk-free. The whole thing is run by a community of volunteers, and they are walking a very, very fine line.
And this isn't just one person in a basement, it's a global team effort. We're talking more than 36 contributors from all over the world, all working together to find these prompts and bring a little bit of corporate secrecy out into the open.
This quote, right from the repositories page, says it all. You can just feel the tension. They're on this tightrope, right? On one hand, they want to be transparent. On the other, they're terrified of getting a takedown notice. So they're literally begging contributors, please don't post the actual source code, or this whole project could just disappear overnight.
So why should we care? I mean, is this just about being nosy? No, not at all. What this repository represents is so much bigger than that. It's a huge step toward real transparency in AI.
For the first time, we can actually see the invisible rules, the guardrails that are shaping our conversations with these machines. We can understand how these companies are telling their AIs to act. And that opens the door for independent researchers to test these systems for bias, for security holes, things that were impossible to do when these prompts were total black boxes.
Which of course leaves us with one massive looming question. AI is already reshaping our world, how we work, how we learn, how we create. As it gets more and more integrated into our lives, who gets to write those director's notes? Should those rules be decided in secret inside a boardroom? Or should they be out in the open, where we can all discuss and debate them? This repository doesn't have the final answer, but it's definitely forcing us all to start asking the question.